if you're watching this on YouTube, listening to this on YouTube, we have a Spotify and an Apple podcast also. So if you'd rather listen to us on that platform, there's that option.
Link down in the description.
Link down in the description.
Leave us a review there. Good, bad, ugly. We don't care.
Give us a 1.5 star. I don't care.
0.75.
Just make it an honest review.
No, if you're just listening, it might be easier to listen on something other than YouTube.
And she had a big nose too. So that's why I'm calling her the Pale Witch. But they're the little gang running around their town.
Gang.
I just hate it.
Wait till you'll see the person that's inside.
They're really ugly and obnoxious. But guys, what I'm trying to say is I could have dated Taylor Swift.
There's a chance. Yeah,
either way.
You don't want to date her. And you said, you don't understand, officer. I gotta go.
No, it was literally the second the sun went down. It was right after sunset, and there was plenty of light. There was no reason for me to have my headlights on. And he pulled me over. For those that have children listening to this podcast, this is going to be a kind of rough subject, talking about the Bosnian War and war crimes. So if you do not want your children to be listening to this, or if you are squeamish at all, probably skip to Jeremy's topic.
Timestamp down below.
The Bosnian War crimes that you've never heard about. This gets rough.
The oldest known computer was made in the 1st century BC. AI has solved its mysteries, and it's way worse than we thought.
For the love of God, stop looking for aliens. It's worse than you think. Welcome back to another episode of Tinfoil Testament. We are still 3 friends in a 4-sided room. We got Jeremy.
Woo!
We got Andrew.
You.
Got Andrew's dad. Hey. And we got me.
Andrew's dad's not really here.
No, he's not here.
He would. I've asked him to be here, and he said no.
He said he gotta go.
He said spend time with Andrew. Never.
That milk, nobody's gonna buy it.
I've been avoiding him for 27 years.
Wow. I've known you since you were 18.
Really?
Yeah.
I've known you since you were 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I've known Mean since I was about 5.
I knew you before you knew you.
That is the thing, because for like the first 5 years of your life, you're not sentient.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Unless people have like really high IQs or something.
I mean, I've got a very small handful of memories before I was 5, but not too many. Like I vividly remember sticking a key in a light socket. Yeah,
that's an alley-oop right there.
How old were you? Like 17?
Shocking.
No, it was at the old church. So it was probably 3, 4.
That's why we don't have any outlets here.
Yeah. And
No, that's why your parents bought those outlet.
yeah,
covers.
yeah, that's why. Because of me. Me.
I hated those things.
It was me. I honestly,
I was trying to shove my knives into the electric sockets, and I
I
couldn't.
wonder what was like in your mind. Was it like, it's a tiny door?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think I grabbed the car key. That's what it was, the car key.
Yeah, I'm going to start this building.
Because it didn't shock me because it had the plastic around it. But
Just
it did,
smoke?
smoke and everything else. But come to think of it, the majority of my memories before I was 5 was at that church.
Makes sense. You were there a lot.
Yeah, that's when most of the majority of my memories. I literally remember one time we were doing a yard sale out in the parking lot. And they were getting everything ready the night before, and everybody was staying up super late. And they made us a little bed. It wasn't a bed, but it was a bunch of blankets piled up on top of each other for us to sleep. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and it was super dark in the back room, but I had my sippy cup right there, and I took a drink, and it was spoiled milk.
Oof. That's rough.
I remember that. And then
Growing up, did either one of you have warm milk before bed?
before bed,
I don't remember ever having
no,
that.
my parents never gave it to me. I did eventually because I saw it in movies and
Yeah.
stuff. And I started, miking it because I thought it was cool because it was in the movies.
It might be a Mandela effect thing, but my mother promises up and down that she gave us all warm milk before bed, and my father promises that she did not.
Do you or any of your siblings remember?
No, like I don't like warm milk.
You did then. You
Yeah,
drink it all the
maybe
time.
you had it so much that you.
That's how I know
Don't
we're
like
in a
it.
simulation. She has a whole history that happened, I guess. I remember, okay, one time.
Isn't that most moms though?
Yeah.
And then they complain, "Fine, I'm the worst mother in the world."
So I remember this was like Little League basketball, like at a park. This will be real fast. She promised me that I cursed some kid out. My dad was like, at that time, you could be on the coach's bench because we were small.
Yeah.
This is when I was barely sentient. And my dad, I remember on the way leaving, he's like, he doesn't even know those words. And my mom to this day promises that I let out like one of the big words.
Well, why would you say that?
Dude, I don't know.
Were you mad?
We won, so I don't think so. Maybe I was too
I
happy.
guarantee you she misheard you. I guarantee you.
Maybe some other kid. I don't know.
It was Tyler. She confused you for a time.
Oh man. But
War on the court, dude.
speaking of histories and stuff that might be different for other people, take it away. Give us a history lesson.
Yeah, we got a rough one today. We got a rough one. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while,
Just
but
get it off your chest, bro.
but I haven't because we had all done pretty rough ones back to back, and I was like, I'll wait for a little bit. And then a couple other topics came up, plasmoids. And
See, the thing is, I need to find something to talk about to give a warning because I'm the only one who hasn't gone there now.
yeah. Well,
I mean, you've
Get
heard
with it.
before.
there's plenty of things on the internet there, bud.
Yeah, Epstein files.
Plenty of things on the dark web.
True.
So we're going to talk about the Bosnian War today, but not just the war in specific, but we're going to talk about the war crimes that were committed there. And so the Balkans, it's a joke within history that, of course, the Balkans are at war again, right? Because it
Yeah.
seems like they're constantly at
That's
war.
all they do, if you believe the narrative.
So the Balkans, for my American friends, is basically to the right of Italy, okay?
Where's Italy?
So Italy is in Australia,
Oh.
and it's south of Australia. But
Ah.
it's
Are they having floods too?
No,
possibly.
water runs north.
No, it's
But, I thought, but they're the down under, so reverse is
yeah.
No,
those-
Australia, you flush a toilet, it goes the other way.
Okay, so it's by the region it's Europe, obviously, but
obviously.
it's around Austria, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Greece. Those are the countries surrounding the Balkans, okay? And I was listening to a war podcast one day, and they decided to do a little bit of a history lesson about it because there's new stuff coming out about the war, so they were just doing an update, basically. And
What year was this?
so this was it started in 1992.
Okay. So pretty recent.
Pretty recent.
And it ended.
In 95.
Yeah, this is about the timeline that you'd start getting declassified stuff.
So
So 30 years?
NATO got involved. The UN got involved.
As they do.
The U.S. itself got involved.
As they do.
Yes, as they do. Yeah, it was Bill Clinton at the time. But it largely had to do with the breakup of Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was a country.
Yep.
It was a bunch of regions put together. They wanted to become a country together. But during the fall of the USSR, they said, "Okay, we want our independence also." And they're mostly doing it by ethnic background
Really?
within region. Yeah. And so the Bosnian War, which took place from April 6, 92 to December 14th, 95, was a brutal and devastating conflict that occurred after the breakup of Yugoslavia. It was primarily fought between three main ethnic groups: the Bosniaks, which are the Bosnian Muslims.
That's honestly a cool name. The Bosniaks.
Bosniaks, the Croats, and the Serbs,
Serbs is kind of lame.
Yeah.
who lived in Bosnia, and
Just the name, not the group. I don't know anything about the group.
but they lived in Bosnia and Herzegovina, is I think how it's pronounced. But the war was characterized by widespread aristocrats, including ethnic cleansing, massacres, and the siege of cities like Sarajevo. What in the heck? Sarajevo. There we go.
Okay.
Sarajevo.
I was going to say, I could try to help you, but I don't know where we're going.
I knew it. I was reading it at the house, and I knew how to pronounce it. I was just stupid. So this is the main area that we're going to focus on, is the siege of Sarajevo. It lasted just about the entire war. It got to the point where, like this was saying, it became an ethnic cleansing of the people. But again, all this stemmed from Yugoslavia wanting to become independent. And I'm not going to go into a big history lesson of all this, because that would take way too long to give you all of the details. But the siege of Sarajevo was the capital of Bosnia. This is the country's name. It's a weird name, but it's the Bosnia Herzegovian. It's like two countries' names put together. But it was surrounded by Bosnian Serb forces for almost 4 years, and it became one of the longest sieges in modern history, with civilians subjected to constant bombardment and sniper attacks.
It sounds exactly like Ukraine right now.
Well, no, not no.
In a way where like the front is right there with people that are just trying to live their lives.
True. I mean, that's how most wars are, though. Most modern wars.
I think we're just fortunate that we've never been invaded.
Especially European wars, man.
Yeah.
European wars are rough because there's always mass casualties. But the point of the war for the Bosnian Serb forces was that they just wanted them to, they didn't want to take land. They wanted them to just completely surrender and give up the chance of being independent. So they didn't want to capture the city. They wanted to brutally make them submit. Well, they got the civilians involved. And they told the military that you're allowed to shoot anybody and everybody.
Oh, wow.
All civilians were on the board. And so the snipers said, okay. So they started shooting men, women, children, elderly, anybody that was in their sights.
Dude, you got to have some hate to do that.
Yes.
Yep.
So it was very brutal. And like I said, they didn't want to take over the city. They wanted to pummel them into submission. So they would just open fire randomly on the city with machine guns and just shoot buildings and everything, and just completely massacre them. And the ethnic cleansing and the massacres, the war was marked by widespread ethnic cleansing with various groups targeting civilians of opposing ethnicities. The Bosnian Serb forces, led by figures like Ratko Mladic, were particularly notorious for committing atrocities. They literally lined them up and shot them. They separated the men and women, the men and boys from the women and girls. They separated them. They took the women and girls to prison, and then they killed the boys and men.
So, like, in the grand scheme of things, while this is going on, does the rest of the world know about this?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And we just let that happen? That's so messed up.
Well, NATO forces started bombing the Bosnian Serb forces.
Okay.
And trying to end the war through diplomatic ways and so on and so forth. And it was a very rough time. And I've heard a lot of people criticize NATO for bombing over there. And I don't know a lot of history about it, but from reading just about the war itself between the three ethnic forces, it got rough. And it sounds like NATO was completely justified. Now, again, I don't know the exact history of it all.
Yeah. But the fact that they just came out and said, okay, we don't care, men, women, children, that's, to me, that's grounds for, if it's as black and white as that,
Yeah,
go ahead.
It is
bomb 'em.
black. Yeah, it is black and white.
That's insane.
And there was leaders, there was generals, there was political parties that were tried for war crimes and everything else after this.
Yeah.
And it was initially the international community, including the UN, that took a passive approach. In 92, the UN established safe areas in Bosnia, but they were largely ineffective in preventing attacks on civilians. However, the war escalated and reports...
How do safe areas work for this? Like, how do you go in and say, okay, if you're here...
Yeah, so what they would do is...
I think they would probably designate, like, if there's snipers, because that sounds like that's the main thing, right?
For
Shooting in, right?
Yeah, for Sarajevo.
Okay.
Yes.
Like, the only way to get a safe zone is, like, if you're in the middle of the city, where even then you could probably be...
Well, they didn't have a safe zone in Sarajevo.
No.
This was around the region. They had different cities that they would try to protect with UN forces.
Okay.
And
so, like, refuge cities, basically.
Yeah. And that's what that was about.
That's still crazy. Like, we got to get there.
Yeah.
Dude.
And so NATO started getting reports of atrocities and began to intervene in the mid-1990s, launching airstrikes against Bosnia Serb positions. And this, combined with diplomatic pressure, helped bring the warring parties to the negotiating table. So, at the aftermath, I'm just going to give you just a little bit more history of it. The casualties of the war caused around 100,000 deaths, with civilians bearing the brunt of the violence, and around 2.2 million people were displaced, and many of whom became refugees. So it was a pretty large war, nothing compared to the Ukraine and Russia war that's going on right now. But for that little area, big war.
Yeah.
But what I mainly want to talk about is the siege of Sarajevo. This was particularly atrocious. What?
Atrocious.
Atrocious.
Atrocious. Atrocious.
But this was particularly bad because, like I said before, it was a siege. It was the capital.
Did they actually, like, conquer it, siege it, or did it fail?
Well, I guess it failed because by the end of the war, they still had it.
I guess.
So
I actually know basically nothing about this other than I've heard that it happened.
right.
So I don't know who won. So
So
nobody probably.
well, they did treaties and stuff like that, and
I mean, I bet the winners didn't feel like winners. It's more so
but Bosnia and Herzegovina,
Herzegovian.
it's right beside Serbia
It's
and
right beside
Croatia.
Herzegovian.
But they were able to gain a little bit more land for their independence in Croatia and so on and so forth. So it was a wild war if you look at it. There was 3 parties involved. 2 parties got together as allies, started fighting the third party, and then in the middle of it, the 2 allies broke up and started fighting each other. So it was a 3-way war at one point. Wild. But the siege of Sarajevo. This is mainly what I'm going to talk about. It lasted the entire war, 92 to 95. Since it was the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, they wanted to break the country into submission. So they established snipers' nests all around the city. They would launch artillery into there, random machine gun fire, and they cut off water. They cut off food. They cut off medical supplies. They cut off everything. And like I said, the Serbian forces gave the okay to shoot anybody and everybody. Now, this was global. This got global attention. The war got global attention, of course, just like anything else would. And according to eyewitnesses and the survivors, they said that they were able to see people walking around the edges of the city that weren't in military uniform. And instead, they were dressed differently, and they stuck out like a sore thumb. One of the eyewitnesses was a former Marine, U.S. Marine, that went there to volunteer as a firefighter for the city. And he witnessed this too. That rumors were going around that rich people, millionaires, billionaires, were going on these so-called Bosnian safaris, which was that they were paying Serbian forces to go out and be able to shoot people.
Oh, dude.
Just like it's more complicated than this, but let me say, just like a regular African safari, you go out, you pick the animal, there's a certain price for the head of that animal, and so you pay that price. You agree to the price on the truck while you're on the truck. You say, okay, that's fine. You shoot the animal, go back to the ranger station, you pay up, right? Well, they were doing the same thing. They were going out to these sniper nests where the guns, the scopes were already preset for the range. They didn't have to adjust for the drop or nothing. And they'll go out, lay down, and kill the first person that they saw. And it was cheaper for elderly, and it was more expensive for children. So you could pay, they don't know how much it was at this point because it's still only rumors. But there's enough eyewitnesses and enough testimonials to say that they kind of got an idea. And they speculate it's people from Italy, rich from Italy, from the U.S., and a few other countries. I think Russia too was involved. But it's not that far-fetched to think this, because a couple years ago, I don't know if y'all remember or not, but there was a post that went viral that a Russian company was allowing people to pay to go into these oil tankers. And they would drive around the Horn of Africa,
Yeah.
which is Somalia,
Mm-hmm.
and they would wait for pirates to come up to the ship. Well, these rich Russians would go over to the guns and start shooting at the Somalian pirates. And they kind of got away with it because people are allowed to do that. Companies are allowed to do that. Security is allowed to do that.
So they would just technically hire them for the day.
They would hire them for security,
Wow.
and they would get away. They would be getting away with it through that way. But I mean, y'all can look that up too. I forgot the exact terminology that they were using for it. It was like some kind of like pirate cruise or something like that.
Dude, that's how far gone
And-
do you have to be?
Well, that wasn't that long ago. That was only a few years ago that they were doing that.
Yeah.
And it's people that are wanting. It's basically like the high fence argument.
Yeah.
Right. High fence hunting argument where you'd walk in to a cage and you shoot deer. Right. It's only for a bunch of rich people that don't have time to actually put in for it.
Dude, this reminds me so much of the story of the Purge movies,
Yeah.
where like they basically find a way to have people just be targets and you go and hunt them for whatever reason you want to. That it's so messed up.
It's crazy. But there's also journalist accounts too that we're seeing this also. There was the mayor of the city that he was able to survive the siege, and he's even got some accounts of the same that the Marines saw. And that's kind of where they're getting this information from. And there was even a area called Sniper Alley, and it was one of the most infamous areas because if anybody poked their head out, they were going to get shot. Because it was just like several snipers in a nest waiting on them to pop their heads out.
Was there anybody who tried to fight back as far as like, well, they got snipers' nests, we're gonna set up our snipers' nest?
Yeah. There was military forces in there,
Get me a
and
billionaire.
rebels in there that were fighting, but at the same time they didn't have any medical supplies, they didn't have any food, they didn't have
Yeah.
any water, so they were just strictly there in case they started to breach the city and go into the city. So yeah, there was skirmishes back and forth here and there, but most of the time they were just keeping their heads down because they had an ungodly amount of snipers around the city. I mean, it was
Wow.
insane. I can't remember the exact death toll, but I do remember that I believe it was 1 in 5 children were killed in the city. And I think 2 out of 5 were at least shot and wounded.
We gotta find bank records of something. Like we gotta find something before they die.
But
before
that
the
was-
billionaires die.
Yeah, that was at the hands of soldiers too.
Yeah.
And there was speculative only about 100 rich folks that joined this and paid to do this. I mean, one's too many, right? But when you think of the thousands of soldiers that was around there too, I mean, it's not a whole lot of people.
Like I don't know. It just seems like there's
And the majority of the people that did take place in this would have been dead by now. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
if you're a millionaire, you're probably 50s, 60s, 40s, which I know if somebody was in their 40s or 50s in the 90s, they're obviously
Yeah.
they can
We
obviously
could be.
still be alive today. But there was even accounts of these millionaires bringing their own rifles because I mean, if you're a hunter, you like your own stuff. You're used to using your own stuff. But I mean, there's not just one account of this, and this isn't just a rumor. And the reason why this is coming out again is because there was an Italian journalist that was doing a documentary, and they are saying that they got some more information about it, and that they were going to release the documentary this year, I think. I could be wrong on that date, but I mean,
Is it going to be in Italian?
more than likely.
Well, I asked not as a joke, because like sometimes foreign films or
it in
documentaries will be made in English.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. They didn't say what it was.
Hopefully they subtitle it and we can watch it and give an update, or maybe it's nothing. Whatever.
I heard a lot of this from the Warographics podcast. They have a YouTube channel too. If you're interested in military news or military history, then that's a pretty good podcast to listen to. But yeah, they were saying that a lot of new stuff might be coming out through this documentary.
I hope so.
If I'm understanding it correctly.
I hope they get some of these guys. I hope they get all these guys. I mean, that's crazy.
But it reminded me that there was also a serial killer in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. His name's Robert Hansen. You've heard of that name?
The Hansen guy?
Robert Hansen.
I think I've heard of him.
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
So he was a serial killer in Alaska, and he would kidnap most of the time women, and he would drive them out to the Alaskan bush and let them go, and he would hunt them down.
Dude, this is some sick stuff.
Yeah, he would hunt them down with a Ruger Mini 14.
Why you got to go and ruin that gun? That's a great gun.
I don't know guns, so I have no idea what that is.
It's a good gun.
Okay, so you know the Springfield, the classic World War II.
It's like a carbine, wooden stock. If you watch Saving Private Ryan, you've seen it.
Yeah, like it's
I
like
guess I've seen it. Then.
You know the M1 Grand? You know the M1 Grand?
No.
The classic World War II.
I'll put it in the Discord.
Where you shoot, ding, 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 bling. The clip goes bling after it shoots all the shells.
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's like a mini version of that. That's why it's Mini 14.
I am the exact opposite of you guys when it comes to guns. other than like the right stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I do not care about guns. I don't.
So
I know nothing.
I wanna end on a little high note on this, though. I know we were talking about a lot of death, and but where there's darkness, there's always light, right? So there was a guy that was known as the Ghost Camaro. He was a Danish former special forces soldier who took extraordinary personal risk to be able to drive food, water, basic humanitarian. What is up with me tonight?
Humanitarian.
I can't talk at all.
It's fine.
Humanitarian aid into the city. And how did he do that? Well, I'm glad you asked.
I didn't ask.
He bought a 1979 Chevy Camaro and modded this thing out. You talking about Mad Max style, okay? He literally put armor plating all around it, and he beefed up the engine, dude, like crazy. I can't say everything that he put in there, but he probably put in two twin turbos. That don't make sense. He put in twin turbos. He put in twin turbos and run flat tires, which means that, you know, the tires wouldn't pop. He had night vision gear. He put Kevlar panels all on top of it, and he had a ton of other modifications on this truck. He painted it black,
Were his speakers good?
Probably.
Probably. But he drove so much, man. I think he put 70,000 miles on that car. And he didn't have a single gun, a single grenade, nothing. He said he relied on faith and God to be able to get him through all that.
What kind of music you think you'd listen to if that was you?
You gotta listen to some classic rock, dude. You got to.
That old Vietnam song that they're blasting. I don't want to say it.
Yeah. Fortunate son.
Well,
Favorable son.
Senator's son.
Yeah, I'd be rocking some 80s metal or 80s rock, whatever you want to say.
I'm sure he was shot at though, right?
Yeah, he was shot at.
I'd be playing the Pokemon theme song.
He was shot at for sure, but he drove. But he also earned the reputation as God's Rambo, which I really like that nickname. That's such a cool nickname. But I mean, yeah, he did all that 70,000 miles worth of going back and forth, which you think about that is an insane amount to be able to drive through a war zone.
His whole, I guess, back seat must have been a fuel tank.
Yeah.
To get to where he's going, get out of there again, dude.
Well, he had to have room for supplies too.
Yeah, I'd say like put it all the supplies in the trunk.
Yeah.
Back seat is
Yeah, he
fuel
had.
tank.
Did he smuggle anyone out?
He smuggled himself in.
They didn't say that.
I was just
He
curious.
should have. I mean, if he's going back and forth, unless he was just too worried about the risk of
for doing that.
yeah. Maybe he was just willing to risk his own life, not somebody else's. But I mean, I could have gone into a little bit more detail about it, but I didn't want to go too in depth.
That's a cool guy.
But
That's the kind of guy you want to hang out with.
yeah, well, he still has the Camaro today, and he drives it around every now and then.
He's still driving it into war zones.
Going into Ukraine right now.
Yeah, well, he's old man now, but
Dude, if I had a car and I was doing all that, I would keep that car forever.
you better believe it. That'd be my baby, son.
You bury me in that thing.
It honestly, if he dies, his family might keep it around for a while.
If he dies.
Well,
He,
when
that
he
guy
dies,
just might not die.
when he dies, his family might keep it around for a while. His son or daughter might inherit it, but they might donate it to a museum at some point.
Yeah. If he gets to pass it on, I hope that they would put it back to the condition like before his first run.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like just make it like
Mint.
like it was when he's like, okay, this is the plan. Let's do this. All right.
Yeah, he just got tired of sitting around and not doing anything. So he's like, you know what? I'm going for it.
What'd you do this weekend?
Just drove into a war zone, drove out.
For a joyride.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to learn more about the Bosnian War, I mean, it gets rough. I mean, it's so, just like most wars, but it's so complicated.
How many years did you say that it went on?
92 to 95.
About 3.5.
Dude, 3 years of being under siege. That's
Constant
At
gunfire.
some point, some of these people, I'm sure, because that just breaks your mental.
Yeah, I don't know
game.
how you live.
Like
Yeah.
at some point, do you just wish that you die?
I'm
I wish
sure,
I was taken. My whole family's been taken, or all my friends have been taken. Can't get out.
How do you do anything? You can't go to work, so you don't have any money. You don't have food.
No.
You don't have water.
There was no work there. They were just trying to survive.
So but
You couldn't buy anything. I mean, you were literally just trying to survive.
You're just looting off of probably people that used to live next door that are passed away now. You're just looting through their stuff, trying to get some food or water. That's insane.
sounds horrible.
Yeah, it was archaic.
Your
archaic.
mental's shocked.
Yeah, and they did all kinds of atrocities too that I didn't even get into, and I'm not going to. But, I mean, the fact that that you have to get to a state of, I have so much money, I've literally bought everything I could possibly own.
Yeah.
I've gone on all these expeditions, I've gone on all these hunts. You know what? Yeah, let me go kill somebody.
Yeah, I haven't experienced the wonder of taking a life.
Hmm.
That's like a power trip move. It's not even about money. It's just like that's the
Yeah.
kind of people who I want power and I've had power and it doesn't do it for me anymore. I need to escalate it higher. What can be more exhilarating?
It's an addict.
That's what's so scary about, like, you get enough of these people and eventually they run a country. You end up with things like the movies The Purge and stuff where it's like we hunt people for sport now.
Or the
It's-
Hunger Games.
Yeah, well,
They're already at the Hunger Games with their outfits.
get it right. It's
Yeah.
the Patriot Games, boy.
Patriot Games.
It's so stupid.
Are you going to join?
No.
Bet.
You and Andrew represent.
Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee you there's going to be some little chick that thinks she's going to go out there with a recurve bow and tear it up. And yeah, like,
That was a lot of wind in that mic.
do it to the side. Do it to the side.
I'll edit the wind in for that one.
Oh man, that's just crazy.
Yeah, the Warographic show, they do it a lot better. They talk a lot about it a lot better than I do. They can actually read things. The
Speaking
guys-
of talking better than you
English.
do, our next topic. just kidding.
no,
Yogurt.
I'm done. I'm good. So tell us about this Greek mechanism that you found.
And I found it. I was in Greece,
You found it.
and there was this mechanism that I found,
I paid you, and you went over there and found it for me because I'm that rich.
and it was just some dude's watch. It was still on his wrist, but
A skeleton wrist.
no, he was walking down the street, and I was like, oh.
Mister, I'll give you this much money for your watch.
My friend sent me here to find a mechanism. Can I have your watch? And he
I'll
said,
give you a whole $20 US.
so get away from me, you're creepy.
Aw.
But in Greek.
That's
No,
Italian.
it's the wrong place. It's euros. Gyros if you're from the south.
Okay, so we're actually gonna be talking about the I need to see it spelled out because I can't. It's one of those words where it's like I can't say it without looking at it.
Yeah, well, I can say things, but if I look at it, I can't.
We're talking about the Antikythera Mechanism. I know Andrew knows about it because he already said I know about that.
See.
I don't know if Andy knows about it.
See.
All right, I guess we're not gonna talk about this. Then.
No, I want to hear your opinions on it
God.
because I've got a. Me and Andrew, we came up with a segment called Hot Take of the Day, where he comes up with a hot take, and we can't say anything to the contrary on it. We just have to take it for what it is.
That's right.
Anyway, so spring 1900.
1995.
No, this was
Oh.
95 years before that.
Jeez, man, time.
There was a group of Greek sponge divers from the island of Simi or something,
Sarai.
and they were returning from North Africa. Violent storm forces them to take shelter near Antikythera. That's the name is based on where it was found. And so,
Say that again. It was by Antikythera.
Antikythera, yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. That's what I was trying to. But I can't find the other island that you were talking about. It starts with an S.
Simi. Anyway, so
However,
while they're there, the boss man says, "We're going for a dive," because they're sponge divers. So one dude, it's like, okay.
They
He
said,
dives.
saddle up your seahorses. We're going down there and wrangle up them sponges.
And he said, okay, I'll give me some sponges.
See?
And so
We gotta go.
he dove. He dove down, comes back quicker than he should have, and he's freaked out. He's messed up. And the boss is like, boy, what are you doing?
I gotta go.
What are you doing? They're supposed to be sponge diving. And he says,
Do the roar.
he's like, Broseph, you're not going to believe me, but there are a lot of dead naked people down there.
Dead naked
Wow.
people.
Yes.
Would those be called skeletons?
No, it's not skeletons. It's literal people that aren't decayed that are dead and naked. This is a true story. This is
I
not,
haven't heard about this part of the story.
See, I know, neither had I. This is what I was telling you yesterday when I was like, my favorite part is the beginning. It's this because I hadn't heard this either. So this dude's freaked out.
How are they not?
Hold on, you'll see. You'll see. It's funny. So his boss doesn't believe him. He's like, you're hallucinating because you're not diving properly and you ran low on oxygen. Like you're crazy. And he's like, no, there's a bunch. He's like, trust me, I know what naked people look like.
Trust me, bro.
There's naked people down there. So the boss goes down, and sure enough, there's like hundreds
Of dead corpses?
of no dead naked people.
Corpses,
Yeah, corpses.
No,
Were they
because
statues?
they're statues.
That's stupid.
But the dude genuinely thought they were real people. He didn't know
That's
it was
stupid.
statues.
Well, you got water in your eyes, boy. Can you not see?
It's salt.
He's underwater,
man.
yeah.
It's murky.
Right in
Come
his
on.
eyes.
Yes, I know. That's why I said that.
I know.
Okay.
So he doesn't know they're statues, though. He really just panicked. It's so funny to me.
Is it? Nope.
He literally is like, guy, like, what is this?
He really said no.
Forget the sponges.
He got a quick glance and he said nope.
I don't want to be one of them. This place is cursed.
Dead naked people. Nope.
Not today.
So they report their discovery to the Greek Archaeological Service.
I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I
Would you-
ran for my life.
Would you stop it?
Sorry. I had to get that on.
I
my head.
don't.
I'll let you speak. I won't interrupt.
No,
you more.
it's not even that. It's just my sister was obsessed with it.
Oh yeah, I know.
You're bringing flashbacks.
You
I
bring
know, dude. I'm bringing the
flashbacks.
internet back to when it was good.
It was never good.
It's Friday.
It's Monday though.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Dead naked people.
He said nope.
I'm
I'm out.
I'm so unhinged. I'm sorry. I gotta stop.
So they report it to the Greek Archaeological Service. So in 1901, they start bringing them up, and they discover 100 or so statues. They get jewelry, glassware, all kinds of stuff that's from the first century BC, like 65, 85 BC, roughly. Like everything's from that period of time. The ship, because there was like a crashed ship, obviously, that had all this stuff on it.
Like boat.
A
Yeah.
merchant
Okay.
ship. Yeah.
Yeah, a merchant ship. It was identified as a Roman era cargo vessel. That most likely was some fancy bougie person had put all their stuff on and was going to take it somewhere.
Could you imagine the sculptor getting the news that the ship sank? He's like,
My naked people.
I spent 15 years carving those statues, and now they're at the bottom of the ocean.
He's just said, well, someone's going to find them and think some dead naked people down there, I'll tell you.
Honestly, he's probably like, I got my money.
I mean,
Maybe.
You
He
want me
did
to
a-
do them again?
he-
I can do them again.
He did a good job with them if it was enough to fool someone to think they're real people.
Yeah. He probably
True.
didn't get the money he probably wasn't going to get the money until after they got there, though.
I mean, he never got the money because he never got them.
I know. Dead naked people.
So, amongst all the artifacts was this corroded lump of bronze that was like the size of a book. wasn't a book, obviously, but it was book sized or toaster sized, if you want.
Nice.
And they didn't really care about it. They're just like, because I mean, they had, like I said, all the jewelry, they had the sculptures, they had all kinds of fancy stuff that cost money, and then there's just this chunk of metal that they have no idea what it is.
You're like,
So they
why
don't.
would I want this?
They keep it obviously because it's something found, but
Yeah.
they don't care. There's no interest put on it until the next year, 1902. Then an archaeologist, I'm not going to give names because I can't say them, and because I don't want to bog it down with a bunch of names because there's a bunch of people involved.
Yeah, learn
Through
from me.
here.
Learn from my
Oh, no, I'm
mistakes.
learning from myself from the 2109. Not
Oh.
2109. There was another, yes, 2109, where I talked about a bunch of different people. It became too many names to keep up with. Doesn't matter. In 1902 May,
They're dead anyway.
probably, an archaeologist is cleaning the artifact at the museum, and while he's cleaning it, he bumps it or hits it a certain way, and it fractures open.
Oh no.
And inside, there's a bunch of interlocking bronze gears that are fused together and teeth that are cut very precise. Far more precise than the typical stuff we would see from this era.
This is literal Easter eggs that this guy carved.
And so you get confused. People in the community, in archaeology and stuff, in history, get confused because this is something that shouldn't exist until the 1500s. They didn't make anything like this back then. It's too advanced, too sophisticated, too precise, too many gears. So everyone writes it off as fake. They're like, it's a forgery, or it's something you messed with, or maybe it's real, but it didn't sync with the ship. It's just someone happened to drop it in the same exact spot and it landed on the boat. And it's actually from the 1600s. So no one does anything with it really until 1905. A German man gets a hold of it somehow and does the first textual analysis, and he finds Greek inscriptions covering gears and plates, references to astronomical events like the solstices and equinoxes, and repeated numbers of like number 19, 76, and 223. These are repeated numbers in different things, such as there's like one gear that has 223 teeth on it, stuff like that. Like there's a lot of those kinds of things everywhere, those numbers.
Was that gear a large gear or a small one? With the 200 something?
Pretty big.
Pretty big? I was going to say, if it was a pretty small gear with that many teeth, that's insane.
I mean, it's not like huge, but
yeah. How big is the device?
I'm going to put it on the screen, but I have 3 pictures in Discord I put. So like the first one is the first thing that they found as they found it. And then I guess someone tried to do like a touch up image of what it would have looked like full.
Okay.
Not damaged somewhat. But that's like the actual device. And then the other one is kind of like when you open it up, all the stuff that's in it. And then the third picture is like a recreation.
Okay.
But I'll show those on screen too. He also identifies the inscriptions as part of an ancient astronomical almanac, and that he observes the gears are epicyclic, which is their gears are rotating on other gears. And like I said, this is something that's not around until 1500s, 1600s.
Right.
To be working in this manner. Not heard of at all. Like, never happened from as far as history knew back then. But many scholars dismiss it because they're like, it can't be real. It doesn't work. This stuff didn't exist back then. This is clearly fake. Or they didn't necessarily say it wasn't fake, but they're just like, we can't get it to fit in with our timeline. And
because we all know our history is solid.
Well, and you know how like elitists, people who think they know everything, when something counters what they think they know. They just discredit it.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, nope,
It has to.
just discredit it. And there's no, there's people who are curious, but the elites who are in charge aren't really curious when something confronts their reality. They just say, no, it's not real. And so there was no interest by and large because they're just like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit. It can't be real. Case closed. It's not real. And so nobody looked into it. From 1905, when this guy looked into it and did what he could do, nobody looked into it at all until 1951.
What's with us just leaving artifacts and stuff like this on shelves forever?
Yeah.
Well, because it wasn't shiny enough, it had to be a jewel or a ring or a coin for anybody to have any interest in it. But since it was just a couple blobs put together, they thought.
We need more archaeologists.
They said, we don't care about it.
In 1951, a Yale physicist and historian of science rediscovers the thing. He stumbles upon its existence and is intrigued, and so he spends 20 years studying it. Technology is advanced enough, so now that he has better X-ray imaging, and so he uses the new technology as to examine it and finds there's at least 30 gears. They find more later, but at this point in time, they can only they detect 30 gears. The gear ratios match astronomical cycles, and basically, from after 20 years of going through it, he concludes that this object is an analog computer.
Bet.
That its purpose is to compute when cycles of aliens, of eclipses, planetary alignments, basically all kinds of space stuff. That you would have these gears all connected. There's a hand crank. You do that to calculate when things would be, but it's analog. It's obviously not digital or doing it itself. It takes a person doing it, but it's still computing in a way. So hence, this is the first computer we know of.
That's wild.
Then we move into the 90s. And in the 90s, someone builds, and I have the image up of this. He builds a working mechanical model based on what we think.
Out of the Legos, right?
Yes, out of Legos and duct tape.
Legos and duct tape.
So in the 90s, we get the first replica. In the 2000s, we can scan better, and we know there's at least 82 fragments. Maybe more, but at least 82, probably 82. There are over 2,000 unreadable, or previously unreadable Greek characters. And there are other dials that predict other cycles. It even tracked when the Olympic Games would be. And it's weird because it not only is it like stuff, of course, they're interested in space. So it's like, well, they would make a machine that could do this kind of stuff. But it also deals with stuff beyond what they should have known based on what we know they would have known in science.
So
within space. It's like they wouldn't be able to know this is even a thing. And yet they were using this to calculate and predict when it would happen.
So this is the Greek equivalent of the Mayan calendar, correct?
Kind of.
Yeah, it
Except
sounds
the Mayan
similar.
calendar was on a rock,
The
chiseled out. I'm not talking about the mechanisms or nothing like that.
It's like the recording part of it.
It was able to predict a bunch of events.
the mechanism predicted eclipses, modeled the moon's orbit, and autocorrects for calendar drift.
What?
It autocorrects.
That's pretty insane. That
Yes, it
because that's
autocorrects.
extremely complicated.
Exactly. It's like, how could they do that? So it didn't get off by leap years or whatever. It auto did that on it the way it was designed. And it also had other things with it. My notes are terrible. I did not get the details I wanted, but it had some information in Greek. It had other information in Babylonian, it had other information in Egyptian. So it was like, here's some stuff the Egyptians are studying that the Greeks didn't care about, built into it. And the same thing for Babylonian stuff that, again, the Greeks didn't care about, which means whoever made this thing was very knowledgeable not only of Greek sciences and space, but also Babylonian and Egyptian, and knew the languages.
So how far in advance does it predict?
Infinite.
Oof.
As long as you want it to go.
That's a high quality Google gear.
And so the thing that's weird about this, or like something to think about, and this is kind of where I really want you guys to have your thoughts on, is we obviously didn't think something like this was possible. There are writings, ancient writings by people, well-known writers, who described having machines that were like this, that were at one point kind of whatever. It's an exaggeration or whatever, because a lot of their tales are kind of like, yeah, okay, that didn't really happen. Now that's like we know one existed, it kind of gives credence to others existing and not just this one. And if they had machines this advanced and had knowledge we didn't realize they had, how much is really lost? Like,
Oh yeah.
because we don't have any record of these machines as far as like this one's the only one as far as I know that
We've lost so much information from the time that the written language started. I mean,
because the only reason why we have this is because it went down on a ship,
yeah.
which some of the theories. Oh, hold on. Let me finish this.
We got
before.
lucky that it went down
The
in
theory,
a place
some of the
where we
theories
could
is
dive
basically
to.
that
Yeah, for real.
that there's a bunch of elites who had this information and had access to this stuff, and this was one of the like the high end elite ship that went down.
so
and
it wasn't
like an emperor or somebody.
It wasn't like just a regular merchant ship, but it was.
That's the that's the
it was like
conspiracy
Elon
theory.
Elon Musk's
Yes.
personal.
Yeah, and when I say like the elites, I mean like the Illuminati elites.
Yeah.
Like the secret society
The
were in
Templars
control.
and people like that.
That's the conspiracy theory. And if it was never if this never happened, we may not have known these ever existed, because, I mean, obviously back then, up until relatively recent, when people were conquered, there was no care to preserve anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
they
look
could
at
have just they could have just destroyed the machines because they just
look at the Library of Alexandria. All the information, the history that was in that.
But
that they.
Yeah, I think back then it was like if you had the first computer, obviously you could conquer a lot of things with that.
with that knowledge, you could
Obviously,
potentially.
We don't even know all that it could do still, probably to this day. So if you had that, you'd probably want to keep it very, very secret and probably not tell many people. And obviously the internet wasn't around, so whoever made it and whoever purchased it and probably the middleman in between, if you get rid of those three people from history, it's lost.
And if they want to stay secret,
Yeah, it's lost. It's not like a digital footprint. It's some rich person or institution that says, here's a bag of money, do this for me, and they do it, and then hunky dory after that. It's really hard to record that.
but yeah, the one of the videos when I was trying to do research had the title of like AI scanned the Antikythera Mechanism, and it's worse than you thought. That's why I said that for my hook, but it was like, turns out the only thing that was AI about any of that was the video itself. The video was horrible. It was AI written, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting. I watched it or clicked it because I was like, now we have AI. What if AI scanned it and put stuff together that we missed entirely? I was like, that'd be really cool if like literally within the past year we've learned these things. No, that was not the case. It was just them being stupid and repeating themselves and saying stupid phrases and then proposing crazy, stupid, like, what if it's this?
I think especially because the world was so cut off from each other like continent wise and city wise.
Yeah, and culture. So like that's why it's shocking that it had
yeah,
not just the Greek but the Babylonian and the Egyptian is like
It
for
really-
it to have that.
yeah, it really seems like this is either somebody's whole life work or it's a group of people's whole lives work where maybe like if it was us three, one of us go to Babylon and every 10 or 15 years we meet up together and one of us is in China and the other's in another place. And the only way we can actually get information together and our records together is if we do it over a lifetime period where, okay, on this day, Andrew recorded this, and I remember seeing this in the sky, and Jeremy also recorded seeing this in the sky, and we begin to track things. But that can only happen, over a lifetime, especially back then.
Yeah.
Unless you believe that the Egyptian pyramids was a battery. No, it wasn't a battery. It was a power plant that was transferring energy from pyramid to pyramid along with Wi-Fi.
Oof.
Or if you believe that
And they had computers made out of stone and crystals.
I mean, like, you
keyboards of wood.
think about it like this. This is metal and glass at the end of the day. Metal, glass, and some plastic.
Cardboard.
But if you take this back to like the 1800s and you're like, here, figure it out and just leave.
Yep.
there's a 0% chance they'd figure it out.
Exactly. But to us, it's like,
At least your average person. Maybe Tesla would figure it out.
yeah, you'd have to give it to somebody.
Have y'all seen the guy on YouTube that he starts everything from scratch? Like he went viral a long time ago about making a sandwich, and he literally grew the wheat,
Yeah, I think I know
Got-
who you're talking about.
bought a cow, milked it,
Killed
made
it.
the cheese, hunted a wild boar to get the pork, grew the lettuce, grew the tomato, all of it. And he showed the whole process. And just to be able to make a sandwich from scratch by himself took him so long
How do
and
it?
so much money.
bread
Make a
was
sandwich in
bad.
5 minutes and you do all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it was insane. He had to grind the wheat too and bake it and everything else. And
Had to build the grinding house to grind the wheat.
Yeah.
Had to make the bricks to build the grinding house.
No, it was seriously. He went and he got the stone and the materials and everything to be able to grind the wheat.
He went
berries.
he went and knocked down a tree so he could carve it to make an axe.
Yeah.
So he could cut down the next tree. So he could.
But he
Kept
does
hitting the
he does
tree.
that with all kinds of stuff
No,
though. I mean, he
dude,
starts from
I
scratch.
I know this isn't what kind of videos he'd want to do, but it'd be hilarious to me if someone did that, but then titled it like "How to Do a Sandwich in 5 minutes" or whatever he's doing in 5 minutes. Because there's so many of these videos where it's like cook this meal in like 5 minutes, and it's like
An hour long.
the amount of
process.
stuff that you did. There's 0% chance a normal person could do
Yeah.
that in 5 minutes.
Like they show all the prep time and everything else,
just
but they don't
couldn't.
include the prep time.
Yeah.
But they're just saying
It's like, just grab this freshly sliced tomato and
It's
grab
like-
these diced onions and
And it's
throw
like,
it in.
and it's like, do this and this and this and this and this all at the same time. It's like I'm one person. I can't.
we don't have editing cuts in
While
real
you're
life.
doing that, do this. And it's like, no. So it'd be funny, but yeah, that's all I got. I think it's interesting. I think it kind of gives credibility to the idea of that. At least one wave, but I personally think multiple waves of society of like we hit a peak of technology and then something happens and it's gone. And then we don't go back to zero
Yeah.
because once you have certain knowledge, it kind of near impossible to go away.
well, think about how they conducted.
But it goes
war.
from like, 0 goes
Yeah.
up to 100 and then down to 30 and then up to like 250 and then down to 75.
Yeah, I mean, with how they conducted war back then, they literally destroyed and set fire to
Yeah.
everything. And if they had all the if one city had all the manuscripts and everything, for example, Greek fire, I believe that's what it's called. We still don't know how to produce it today. It was a oily substance that they lit on fire and threw at ships.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's like the Roman concrete. We barely figured out that.
Yeah, but you cannot put it out. You physically cannot put it out. It would be on fire on top of the water.
Yeah, I was say, is that the fire that burned on water?
Yeah,
It's like napalm almost.
and yeah, pretty much. And it terrified. Not only that, the mechanism that launched it too. It was some kind of copper or bronze gun, basically, that was able to launch this
Where it
stuff
wouldn't
out.
stick to it.
Yeah. It was a wild concept,
It's
and they don't know how they created it. They don't know the mixture that it was there.
What scares me though, when I think about it, is like it. I really think I personally do. I think we have cycles. I think it's God, honestly, but I think we hit cycles, and then God says, "Nope, you're not allowed to get that far. It's too soon, or whatever." Because it kind of ties back to the Tower of Babel and like
And the flood.
community and reaching a certain
Right.
point. So I think like every so often or certain points, God says, nope, you don't need to advance that fast, and then shuts it down, and there's a reset. And I'm just like, what scares me is I think we're at a point of reset. Like we're teetering on it.
Well, possibly because
Yeah.
of the AI stuff coming out.
Well, not the AI is not the only thing, because before AI came out, I'm just thinking about like how we've got a point to where society's no longer raising with intelligence, because like that's how intelligence
Right.
works, is like as the tippity top intelligence goes up, so too does the bottom.
We're
They
starting
go
to,
up together,
we're
but now
starting to
it's
get
kind of like
stupid.
the middle stopped going up. We don't know the middle stuff that we should know. People don't have an interest, don't want to do it, can't do it. And
Because-
it's like and we've lost. Not only are we not gaining with going up, but we've also, because we don't have to, don't know how to do stuff that people did 100 years ago. Like I could not go kill something and make food with it. I
It's
couldn't
the
do it.
internet.
I don't have it.
It's the
I
internet's fault.
couldn't farm my own wheat like that. The whole video that dude did, I couldn't
Yeah.
do it. I don't know how to do it.
It's
I've lost that.
All right, you're going hunting with us next year.
I'm not.
that guy.
I'll whip you, boy.
He would even go to quarries and get his own ore, iron ore. Or
At that point, you're doing too much, buddy.
I mean, he's trying to show the process of what it takes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the same guy. It probably is. But there's another video of somebody trying to build and make a toaster from scratch, all the materials from scratch, and it didn't even work.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So
Speaking of all you got, show me what you got when I ask you these questions.
is it normal?
It's tinfoil or truth. Yes, it's going to be the normal 2 headlines. You guys choose which one is truth and which one is
Tinfoil.
tinfoil.
Got all these questions wrapped in tinfoil like a baked potato, honey.
All right, I kind of put mine around space and history a little bit because that's what I'm going to talk about here in a second. But the first one is Apollo 14 carried tree seeds and samples or triettes. What do you
False.
call
We
them?
never went to
Samplings.
space. We've never gone out of the radiation belt.
False, because Apollo stopped at 13.
False.
They carried them around the moon and were later planted as, quote, moon trees
On the moon?
on the moon. Or, here's your second one. A secret 19th century society built a balloon to reach near space and tried to launch a cat.
A 19th century society?
Yes, but all records were, quote unquote, erased, except for eyewitnesses.
True tinfoil.
True tinfoil.
True tinfoil. Okay. Here's your next 2.
Were we correct?
Yes. That was easy.
You just said, okay, here's your next. You didn't say if we were
Those
wrong or
were
not.
easy. That was
He said
softball.
true tinfoil. He agreed with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's your next 2. In the 1800s, an astronomer called and claimed to see a, quote, space whale, which may have been a plasmoid now that we know
a
Andrew's
plasmoid.
whole thing,
Plasmoid.
drifting through the Milky Way.
Plasmoid.
And major universities studied it for decades.
What?
That's your first headline.
Studied it for... Wait, they studied the event for decades or they saw it for decades?
They studied it for decades. His eyewitness.
Huh.
Or your next one, Russia's Zanami 2, a space mirror experiment in 1993, created a moving bright spot which was about 5 kilometers wide, and it crossed parts of Europe, causing power outages.
What year?
93.
I'm gonna say tinfoil true.
That's wild. True tinfoil.
Russia did do it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We could do a whole thing on that.
That's crazy.
5 kilometers wide. That's, yeah, it's insane.
And what is that? 3 miles? 2.5
Roughly.
miles?
Yeah.
How many football fields?
Well, toasters wise, probably 30,000.
Nice. Well, are we talking about the quad?
The
The quad or
kilometer.
the double or the single toaster? What are we talking
The
about?
single.
Single?
So they're not married.
No.
Oof.
It's the one for single people.
So mine and Andrew's kind of toaster. Ladies?
No, I don't do not do the internet thing. Do not do the
We're
internet
on
thing.
the internet. He just doesn't do the internet thing.
Andrew is
The
single,
internet dating.
and he's ready to mingle.
Single and ready to mingle.
Single and ready for a Pringle.
All right.
Let's get ready to rumble.
This next one, you guys, you better get because
I'm
Jeremy
gonna
has talked about this.
not get it now.
Gemini 6 astronauts
False.
played Jingle Bells in space in December 1965 using a harmonica and bells as a prank Santa report. Or your next one is early 1900s explorers found an Egyptian papyrus that precisely predicted Pluto's existence decades before its discovery.
Thanks for telling us the answer. True tinfoil.
True tinfoil.
That was a softball one, yes.
Thanks for the heads up there, bud.
All right. In the Cold War, the U.S. launched hundreds of millions of tiny copper dipoles into orbit in Project Westford
Dipoles? What are dipoles?
to test space-based communication.
Diapers.
Copper diapers. Okay, that's weird.
Or to confuse the enemy. To confuse the enemy, the U.S. secretly released a permanent aluminum dust belt around the Earth that still causes satellite glitches to this day.
I don't believe it at all, so I'm going to say true tinfoil, but I hope it's tinfoil true. I hope it's tinfoil true.
Yeah, we just...
Because that's
What say
stupid.
you before I say anything?
True tinfoil.
Yeah, we did not release dust. Ruin our planet to win a war.
Like, we want to confuse you.
So we'll confuse ourselves too.
Here's a thin layer.
It's a sacrifice we must take.
Not even to win. I just want to confuse them.
All right, here's your last two.
Oh my God, dude.
Apollo 12 left a hidden backup camera transmitting to Earth for weeks, but NASA, quote, never aired it due to what it recorded. Or during the Apollo 12 mission, astronaut Alan Bean accidentally pointed his TV camera at the sun, damaging it, ending the live television feed from the moon for that mission. Wow.
Tinfoil true.
Tinfoil true.
Tinfoil true. What a convenient mistake.
Uh-huh.
And that's why the moon's not real.
I think I got 100%.
I
NASA
think you did.
stands for never a straight answer.
Never. As we were discussing before the podcast, Andrew's already brought it up Is that the conclusion we came to?
Yeah, he mentioned it, but I don't think he didn't do a full segment on it.
So, to your credit, there's the dark forest theory, but there's like different. I want to say almost
Different avenues,
yeah.
different trajectories.
People think the thing that you
Theories,
said
thoughts.
of one race is
questions.
hunting them down. Everybody else thinks something else, and you have all these different ways you can go about it. But the main theory is, the reason why we don't have other civilizations, aka aliens or whatever, contacting us more out in the open is because of this theory that came from a Chinese author. I will not try to say his name because it is very hard and I don't speak Chinese.
Hey, speaking of aliens and all that, did you know that the wow signal, you know the wow signal, correct?
The wow signal.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I'm saying, right?
I don't think so.
Y'all don't know? Really?
Tell us real quick.
Okay, so you know how in the movies where you have two guys sitting at a station looking at cameras
Yeah.
or satellites trying to pick up an alien contact?
They get a blip.
Yeah, well, that's an actual position. And there were two guys sitting there, and all of a sudden they get a signal coming through, like a radio frequency coming through
Yeah.
from a satellite pointed into space. And it's called the wow signal because when the guy saw it, he said, wow. And apparently the 3-eye Atlas comet came from that direction. That's another reason why people were saying that it was a spacecraft.
See, I did know about that, but for some reason you said wow signal, my brain went to bat signal, and so I was thinking it was I genuinely thought it was something like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, no.
Instead of SOS, it has wow. WOW.
Maybe that stands for something else. But the
Dark Force theory.
Yeah, so to condense it down, picture the whole universe. For a second, think about the universe being a forest, and you have all these other civilizations out there, us being one of them, obviously. How many would you guys say, if there are some out there, have the ability to reach outside of their solar system?
Oh, hold on.
3.
No. It's much more than that.
No. I've talked to them. It is only 3.
I know we all believe in Jesus and stuff like this. This theory does not take into account it's thinking
Yeah.
that
Everything.
it's billions of years old. The
Everything
universe.
I talk about in these kind of things is always like, I understand it goes against Christianity. Let's just put that on the side.
Yeah.
Don't truly believe it's real. So I understand. 57.
Only 57 of them?
Because Heinz 57.
Oh my God. No.
40.
We have the Greys, which aren't really aliens. They are biological androids.
No, they're
then we
humans from
have-
the future.
Yeah. And then we have the insectoids, and then we have the reptilians.
No, there's 57.
57.
The ugly Martians, you're forgetting about them.
Okay. And then we have a bunch of others that Vandy's going to tell us about.
Well, I don't know how many there are.
Oh.
But the idea is that there are a bunch of us, quote unquote, us as people who have working civilizations out there. And
Sentient beings.
yes, the fear is that if we put something out there, if we're all hunters, if we're all in the forest, the first one to light a fire is the first one to get unalived.
Basically, think of Halo,
Yeah.
the Covenant and humans,
Yeah.
and the Flood.
I know nothing about Halo except that I'm bad at it.
So if we're all pretty much increasing in technological advances and stuff like that,
Loser.
what was the first thing we sent out into space that had
Jingle bells.
no? We sent the
It was the time capsule that
Yes.
we sent out that had golden record and
In-
hieroglyphs on it and stuff like that.
And mathematical equation.
this
Yeah.
theory says that was the worst thing to do because it's on that capsule is literally a map of our
How to-
solar
yeah,
system
and how to get to us.
get to Earth. And if another civilization we lit the fire, sees our light out there, our radio signals that it's constantly putting out. What's stopping them from just coming and observing or just wiping us
What
out?
year did we put that? Like the 70s?
It was after Jingle Bells.
It's like the
Yeah.
70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, the 70s.
The amount of time that, if there is something out there, the amount of time that it would take to even reach them.
Well, I did do
I bet that
some
thing's
research.
That thing's not even out of our solar system yet.
Technically not, no. I did do some research with all the radio transmissions that we've pushed out into space. By now, we're give or take 100 light years of how far they could have traveled.
Hmm.
The nearest, quote, habitable place that we have found is like millions.
Yeah.
But how long do you think we have before somebody sees that? If there is somebody.
Probably another 15,000 years.
Oh, so you're putting it out of not our lifetime. Not-
Yeah, like literally when the New Jerusalem is on this earth, we've been reigning for thousands of years.
So that's the next thing. Oh, we got this place.
Yeah.
That's the next. How would you rank us as a civilization? Would you rank us
There's a
weak
ranking already.
or pretty
Yes,
strong?
We are weak. We have nukes. Yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
But everything else, like, what are we going to do? Put a fake Cortana into their computer system to try to...
We have no communication within our countries.
Yeah.
Like everything is slow. Everything moves so poorly.
On a scale of 1 to 5, we're at like a 2.
Maybe.
I think we're like a 0.2.
Oh, really?
We're
What? Okay. What is 5? That's the question.
5 would be like, I feel like we have
Space-
mastered wormholes and stuff
Wormholes
like
and all
that.
Yeah. we're-
And
no, there's
probably
there's,
integrated with AI.
there's already a scale for this where one I forget what it's called and I forget everything, but I know that one is like what sounds like where we are, but it's not where we are. We're at like 0.8.
Yeah.
Mm.
We're not doing good.
On a scale of 1 to 5?
I wish I could remember.
You got to have these facts ready, Jeremy.
Tyler would know.
Yeah, he would know.
I would love to talk to Tyler on this.
Kenton probably would know. Dude, Kenton knows everything, dude. It's wild.
He is the
You talk
son
to
of
him?
his father.
I do this all the time. I do this all the time in class when I'm teaching them. I look at Kenton and I say, "What does it say, Kenton?" And he quotes it. He's quotes
Yeah,
the
he
scripture,
knows-
whatever I'm saying.
He knows some random stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the Kardashev scale.
Kardashian scale.
Yeah, the Kardashian. It's the Kardashian scale. It's the Kardashev, or however you say that scale. Whether it's type 1 civilization, which is planetary, type 2, which is stellar, type 3, which is galactic, and we aren't even at a 1.
Yeah.
Which planetary is being able to have multiple.
You
Planet-
habit
planet-
multiple planets.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not even that. It's not even close to that. It is being able to access the energy on your own planet and store it for it's the ability to master your own planet
Okay.
and leave. Not like go to others and do that, but it's like, okay, we have full control over our planet, so now we're going further.
So, if we get complete control of fusion reactors, that'd be pretty much
Like I
Being
said,
able to harness.
we're
We turn our planet into like a what's the word? It's like a planet city almost.
yeah.
let me see
Because
the
I mean,
exact-
we have nuclear reactors, and that is a very powerful
Yeah.
source of electricity. But fusion is even better.
Now, one of the questions that I saw online that piqued my interest, and I wanted to ask you guys, but like, at what point do we try to start camouflaging all these radio waves that we're putting out? 'Cause
Probably not for a while, to be honest.
if we really think somebody's out there that could mess us up, like,
Yeah.
we're basically water off of their back.
Look, man, we already know it's going to be Project Bluebeam. It's not even going to be real aliens. What we are really concerned about are all the demonic forces that our governments are working with that they claim are aliens, but in fact, they are demons.
I think that's how they rationalize it, is this is an alien.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they just explain it away.
I was looking to see where we are on this, and so I didn't hear the past like minute or two, and I have no idea how we got here.
Well, I was
Don't worry about it, kid.
I was asking him
Because if it's a serious conversation, to have opinions. If it's not, I don't care.
In the Dark Forest theory, one of the things why we have not found it is because if we're all basically hunters in the forest, we all should be using camouflage, and they're probably using, quote, this is a theoretical thing, I think,
Camouflaging radio waves, by the way. Jeremy.
Dyson spheres, which
Dyson spheres, yes.
would mask them having a sun. So we would look at it and say, oh, that's just a dead planet.
Yeah.
But for them, it's fine.
It'd be like an eclipse to us.
Basically.
Yeah.
We would see these other planets around, but we don't see the light from.
That would have to be a massive sphere.
Dyson sphere would be what a Type 2 civilization. Because that's controlling the sun. Their star.
And think how far away from doing that.
So they're harvesting the energy from their star
Yeah.
That's
to
a
be
Type
able
2.
to power their civilization.
Now, I know what you're saying with the Project Bluebeam and that stuff. I believe I'm on the same wavelength as you, but for the sake of this, the one question I want to know is if you're president, both of you, not at the same time, and you get, hey, Mr. President,
You're my vice president.
we got contact. Do you answer or do you be like, nah, no?
Honestly, I'd say no.
So like it's 100% no questions. An alien,
Another civilization.
Someone is from out of planet is
Yes.
hailing us,
Yes.
and we're going to communicate in real time. So or really enough time. It's not going to be like they sent this 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So it'll be like whatever you say, you'll hear back.
They are
from them.
addressing us now. Do you get on the phone and you're like, call the UN, call Russia? Is this one of your guys? Because that's what I would do first is confirm.
Well, yeah, you'd have to confirm with other countries.
And if it's like everybody's saying no.
That honestly wouldn't be a decision for one man.
I would absolutely do it.
You'd say
would.
hello. You'd pick up.
I wouldn't immediately. I'm not saying like, oh, put me on the phone right now. I do think that yes, it's like you can't do it by yourself because one, again, it could be fake. Still, like
Still, yeah.
you said it's 100% confirmed.
Yeah, for the sake of the question.
But I wouldn't know that. I would still have to be like, okay, let's
check.
all the world, like because if it's real, you don't want to be by yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, because it's like this is a global unifying thing. So I would be with world leaders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make a decision
for sure.
But like absolutely, like if it's like we'll do it if you say yes, and it's like I'm doing it.
Everybody votes, and it's like somehow it's in favor.
I would send them back. Christ is Lord. Christ is Lord. Say Christ is Lord.
What's your ad situation like?
What's Are they skippable?
Before the message plays to him, it's an advertisement.
That would be so. They would kill us. No, we're not watching your stupid whatever.
Send them a YouTube ad.
Absolutely. I would.
They wouldn't even know the difference. No, honestly, I wouldn't. I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Be like, everybody turn everything off now.
No,
I don't even answer random calls on my phone.
I think.
Why would I answer
You're
them?
saying no, but I think what you would do is the same kind of thing. You would maybe not say yes, but you wouldn't make the decision. You'd say contact.
This is a decision for the world.
Contact the other world leaders because you'd probably think the same thing. Is this fake?
In all seriousness, I would set up an emergency voting on the phone for
Oh, yeah.
everybody in the country and be like, look, we literally have about an
Oh,
hour to do this.
You'd let the people decide?
Yeah.
See, that's
That's
I don't think I
crazy.
would do
No.
that, because if we like broadcast it and say, "Hey, we got contact that we think is extraterrestrial," do we do this? Everybody's lighting up their little ham radios and sending everything that they got out.
Yeah.
Not just that, but like,
You get crazy people doing stupid things.
No, man, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't do it.
I guess my last question before we wrap it up is, do you think it's more frightening to be totally alone in all of the universe, or
No,
that there's more people out there?
no, it's not frightening to me at all.
to be alone's not frightening. I think it's boring, not frightening. I think it's exciting if there's other stuff going on, but also is scary.
It's
Yeah.
scary if one day, whoa.
And I'm one of the Christian believers that thinks that it's 100% possible and probably likely that
I am with you.
there are other planets with stuff. Like, I don't see why God would say only Earth and make all this other, like, he could have. I'm not saying he couldn't have, but there's to me, I see nothing in the Bible that says I only made life on Earth.
Well, Tyler put it this way. I asked him this question a while back to if he thinks that there's aliens, or no, I didn't ask him that question. What I asked him was, during the 1,000-year reign here on Earth, people are going to be here. People are still going to be living their lives.
Yep.
Do you think that we are actually going to colonize Mars by that point? And there's going to be it's going to be a wild time. But and he said, well, he says that he thinks the original plan was before Adam and Eve fell, if I can remember him correctly. Before Adam and Eve took of the fruit, that the original plan was to go forth and multiply, just like what he said.
Shoot
Yes.
for the stars.
And so eventually they'd have to get to the point, and they would have the technology to go to the other planets.
Yeah.
But maybe God made Mars dead after they fell.
He said they ain't even going to get there.
Yeah.
And then Elon Musk.
I mean,
Do your question though about you weren't asking me, but I'm going to answer anyway. I don't think that we'll colonize Mars, or at least if we do, it'll be the back half.
Yeah.
The reason is the population of there is going to drop so dramatically that it'll be kind of like,
well, World War III,
because there's going to be like the third mankind wiped out.
yeah.
But then after that, there's going to be more. Because the Bible talks about like when God comes back, he kills so many people and the people that his army with him that there's blood up to the head of a horse.
Yeah, the horse's bridle and all that.
Yeah.
So it's like even more people. I think that a huge chunk of the population is going to go down, and it's just going to be like, and everyone's going to be defeated, and they're just going to like, because the Bible says, that they put down their weapons and like bend them and whatever.
Yeah, it's a great reset again.
Yeah, I think it is I think that is the next great reset for technology. I think technology is going to go back
Back to the Stone Age.
not that far back, because I never think it goes back to zero. I think it stays elevated some.
It's like
But I think it'll go pre-internet.
It's like Bitcoin, where it goes up,
it's
and it
literally
falls a little
a
bit,
pie chart.
but it never falls back down to where it started. It's
Yeah.
constantly
I think-
stair stepping.
So I think, and then I don't know. There's 1,000 years.
And then they're going to be thinking, they had these big spherical things. What were they for? To us, that's a nuclear reactor.
I mean, honestly, if a government official saw an angel, just how they're described within the Bible,
Oh, dude.
they would think it's alien.
Yeah, instant.
So
Alien. Extraterrestrial.
and
Technically,
demons
it is.
demons are only fallen angels.
Yeah.
But we can wrap up if you want to not talk about this on the podcast or go back into it because we're getting long. But I do want to know, how did y'all get to the demons? Because I had
Project Bluebeam.
I had some opinions to add to that.
Yeah, it was just about should we start camouflaging the radio waves
Yeah.
that we're sending
Yeah.
out. And I said, I don't think that we really need to worry about it because it's going to end up like Project Bluebeam. And if anything, what we're seeing is demonic angels and not actually aliens. That's how that went. So what's your opinions?
I 100% think that demons are working with political leaders, and it is possible that they manifest.
I
And
think
that political leader, like it could be possession, or it could be like influence or whatever.
Yeah.
I think,
But
it's
I also
both.
think it's very possible that there's like demonic manifestation where they think they're seeing a person
I mean,
who's
we
giving them
know
guidance, and it's a demon.
we know for a fact that they do ritualistic stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they do weird
Bohemian
stuff.
Grove.
They do some
I mean,
weird
come on.
stuff.
yeah.
So they do
The mock sacrifices
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, even
And
the
like
Masons, even the Masons do a mock human sacrifice
Yeah.
within
And
their
the
little temples.
the airport.
Denver,
Denver, yeah, with the horse and all the tunnels underneath. Dude, I want to talk about that so
yeah,
bad. But
and
that's-
of course, if you're going to look for something spiritual, you're going to get something spiritual.
we are spiritual beings at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
Well, if you're gonna look for power, because I was talking, I don't know if this I'm gonna cut this out or not, simply because of length and whatever. But I just talk about it. Talking with Mr. Robinson about why I want to say the left, but it's not really the left. It's like a certain type of people that tend to be on the left, but it isn't a left or right issue. But like these certain types of people who get power and then take over, it's because there's a kind of person that doesn't care about power and they just want to get the job. Like they're hard workers, they have talent, they can do stuff,
Yeah.
and they could be leaders and sometimes are. But their goal isn't I want to be a leader, I want to be in charge. Their goal is I want to get this done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So they don't seek positions of power. Even if they end up there, they're not seeking them out. Then you have the other people
Sounds
who
like Elon.
then you have the other people who are power hungry, who do seek out power. That's all they're seeking out is power, self-glorification, money, whatever. And
Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton.
they get their grubby hands
Donald
into
Trump.
all the systems because their goal is I want to control. And so that's why over the past 60, 70 years, because most of these people the left tends to feed into these people. So that
yeah.
they
You have a
tend
Lindsey
to be-
Graham too, and Dan Crenshaw.
So
Yeah.
that's why institutions have been invaded and taken over by these people where it's agenda first.
yeah,
To bring it into the demon stuff, I genuinely think that just like we were talking about with shooting people, where you have to get that next high, you have to get that next whatever, that these people get so, what's the next thing I can do for power? That's something that demonic spirits can kind of be like,
Yeah.
see it as a way to
Yeah.
weasel their way in.
and you don't even have to be possessed, but you can
No.
be influenced
Yes.
Right.
by
Oh yeah.
demonic entities.
And it's like they may not even be. Some of them might actively go seek it out, but others
Sure.
may not even be seeking it out. It could just be, here's an open door I can step into.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're so obsessed
But not even
with it.
not even that. They're obsessed with stature
Yep.
around their
Right.
peers,
Reputation.
and whatever they can do to get a better reputation higher up on the leaderboard, then they're going to do it.
Yep.
And if that means doing all these rituals, if that means talking to a demon, if that means doing a
I mean, yeah, some of them
Seance,
have
whatever.
literally,
Sacrifice.
some of them have literally said, this isn't as on the nose as that, but they've said like, if I have to kill 100 kids to do this, I will do it.
Yeah.
Or I would if I could.
100%.
Like they don't care.
Yeah.
If there's people that'll associate themselves with Epstein
Oh, 100%.
and
Allow them to be dressed in a
Do-
dress and be painted and stuff.
do all that, and to get into the occultic groups, like you said, they have to humiliate themselves by dressing as
Yeah.
a woman. And that's why there's so many stinking celebrities that do that in a public platform. Not just like on a movie set or whatever. Like
In-
they go
in
out.
private.
Yeah, they go out on private, or they walk around in public on the street corner and do that. And you're like, oh, no, that's just a fashion choice. No. Look at Lil Nas X, dude.
That
Look
guy,
at the music that he was doing before and after.
Yeah, literally the last thing I saw about him was he was going crazy in the street.
Yeah, I think he's in prison right now.
Like some weird stuff is
Yeah,
being sold and bought.
yeah, and there's all kinds of musicians that talk about how they had to sell their soul and make deals, and
comedians
too. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't endorse a lot of what he says, but that Cat Williams guy, he had an interview with some other celebrity or whatever, and he was literally calling out, and they said, well, they offered me $10 million, and I turned it down because they told me I had to be in a dress, but look who's the next big guy up, in his next movie, he's in a dress.
yeah. He's called out a lot of the industry.
Yeah.
A lot of Hollywood, a lot of the music industry is so weird, man.
Yeah.
Once you get
So-
behind the scenes, I mean, look at Diddy, dude. For heaven's sake, the whole industry knew about Diddy, but they kept it quiet because they were worried about what Diddy would do to them.
Right.
Yeah, and there, I guarantee you, there's more.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he killed Tupac and Big E. Like that's
Yeah.
what 50 Cent is saying.
That's what's crazy. Eminem called him out on a song for doing it.
That's wild.
And if you're doing something messed up and Eminem's calling you out,
Yeah.
you're really, really far out there.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Yeah, we need to wrap
that
this
went
up.
way off rails. From,
yeah, well, I might cut out some of that, but
A lot of it was good.
because I just wish I was actually paying attention and not looking into the. We're at 0.74, by the way.
okay.
That's where we are.
0.74. We haven't even got to 1 yet.
But
anyway.
I have a lot of opinions on.
Yep. Anyway, stay safe. Keep your tinfoil hats on, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Eh.